or whatever the hell her name is. What is up, everybody? The Mad Batch back here for episode 2, where we're going to discuss episode 3 of the Bad Batch. Maybe not discuss it. We're gonna talk about it a little bit. Nothing in depth. Go ahead, Dean. No, it's okay. We just started the show. Go on and live your life and make your plans that you're going to do after this show with people who are in the room with you that have nothing to do with us on screen or in Star Wars on this live show. Who are you talking to right now, Dean?
Who, me? I'm not talking to anyone. I've been waiting here for the thing to start. It says we've been live.
It must be your camera angle, my man.
We've been live from 1 minute 53
seconds.
Is it me,
Major? Did it look like when we started? Did it look like he was kind of looking off at someone else past the computer?
He's catching up and watching the episode because he just realized the new episode dropped.
Yeah,
well, wait a minute. Let me confirm.
Man, I knew somebody was going to say that shit.
You did watch today's episode, right, Dean?
To make up for last week's shenanigans, I watched this week's episode twice.
Hey.
But I didn't watch last week. No, I'm joking. I did watch last week's as well. Like, I was going to come in here like, oh, so we're talking about episode 2 today, right? No. But that's fine. No, we're good.
Dean, everybody. Dean, he actually got caught up before we started doing the show tonight. So, everybody, give it up for Dean.
Man, I started a new job today. I got in like an hour before we started, and I managed to watch the show again. So yeah, no, I'm earning my stripes. I'm putting in that work, man. I got theories, I'm kind of coming round maybe a little bit on Omega, but not really. Got some other criticisms.
It's a tough one for me still.
Yeah.
We already have one message. Gee, I wonder who it is. Dean was just talking about. And it's not Dagan, but it is. Hey, it's another listener though.
Just like everyone else on this show, Dagan has gone and ditched us.
Hold on, let me replay that. Dean was talking as I was trying to play the stereo comment. You damn British fool. Dude, it's getting late for you. It's a Friday night. You need to hurry up and get to the pub, am I right?
I actually went to the pub last week for the first time in over a year, so that was cool.
Hey.
There you go. But here, let's listen to this again.
Wrecked.
All right, here's our stereo comment. Awesome. Thank you very much. Kisses right back. I love it, man. That's the most loving I've gotten in a long time.
Is there a reason I can't hear that?
Yeah, I couldn't either. I'm sad.
Oh, well, hey, it wouldn't be a shit show if we didn't do this 3 or 4 times. So let's try it again.
Okay.
I turned up my volume on my phone also this time.
Yeah.
Hey guys, hope you're doing well with a kiss at the end.
Oh, so nice. But we did not hear it, sad life.
No.
You didn't hear anything at all.
No, but you can just commentate it for us. We'll take that.
All right, well, if that's what I got to do for the rest of the night, then that's what I got to do. Yeah, Omega, man. I don't know, dude. She's still not growing on me. I will say, dude, of all of the accents in the world, Aussie is my second favorite. I think it's the second sexiest accent on a female, and it is the first sexiest accent on a male. No, Aussie, not British. You're not in.
We're number one. You said the second. We're number one.
No, as far as men go, Aussie is number one.
Oh.
As far as women go, the Aussies are number 2 on the list of sexy accents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Paige, you got a shot there still.
There we go. As long as I can make it in top 5.
Like the lottery.
Well, actually, Boston is the top sexiest accent for the ladies, so.
Really?
Yeah. Stick around after the show, Paige.
Hey.
You guys are great. But no, dude, that Aussie accent she's got super thin, though, man. It's super thick, though. But I don't know. I understand it's animated, so you got to have something in there for the kids, and kids can relate to Omega. It's definitely not a kids show. It's very dark. The music is dark. The tone is dark.
I mean, dude, they were Cross. Why can't I think of his name right now? Crosshair.
Crosshair.
Yeah.
who I
was
noticed for the first
literally
time
executing
today.
people like no, yeah, right, executing people like no tomorrow. I was just like, oh wow, this is getting way deeper than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's tricky with the about to Amiga with like the action is obviously designed to really make her pop, but the fact of like you say, Jay, this show's so dark already, and everything else around her is so like mature looking, like the griminess and everything. It's almost like Rogue One levels of shit, you know, and it just makes her stand out that much more. You know, it's just awkward. Like I get it's a cartoon, but you've made it so grimy, and then you just slap this character. And Rekka's not far behind. He's irritating the shit out of me as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't mind like giving record dialogue is fine with me. I don't want him to give any jokes. To me, the character and his personality alone is comic relief. They don't need to have him making jokes as well. That's a little bit too much for me.
well, yeah, like I said last week, they made him so stupid. And again, you know, I caught up on the second episode, and it's so much worse in that episode. He's like, "There's a trip mine. Oh, I'm just gonna step on it." Like, really,
Yeah, they give him
really,
all the
dude.
bad tropes.
He's so bad. And then in this one, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll steal the kids' food." Like, you're supposed to be an enhanced clone, not a moron and a fucking, you know, sadist child abuser. Like, he's just really crap at everything.
Well,
Other
real
than
quick,
just being
since you
really fat and stupid, or you know, it's just like that's all he
He's
is
a
there
wildebeest,
for.
pretty much.
He's not a badass. He's just, you know,
he's just
him and
the big
Amiga.
tough guy. He's the big
Yeah.
simple tough guy.
But he's
Um,
stepping on
Perfectly.
trip
Yeah.
mines on purpose. It's no tough.
Yeah, but real quick before we get too far past it, you brought up him the food incident between he and Omega and Hunter cutting that off. I got a question for you. Like, my question is, I want to know if I was reading too much into this. But when he ended up telling Omega, that's all right, you keep it. The way she was like, okay, like she didn't even have a care, and like it never occurred to her that like she needed the food, or maybe it just like I don't know. It struck me as like not off or anything, but just like there's something to that. I think because to me that was a really weird response. She just like
I thought that.
Yeah.
okay.
So for me, I was like, wait, since she's a clone, does she not have to eat? Like, I was confused. I was just like, was it like not a big deal? Like, oh yeah, no, you can just starve. It's okay. Like,
Well, let's just offer that. Let's just get into this because Amiga, right? So I heard a lot of speculation. I think we did a little bit where it's like, is she a force sensitive clone? They finally figured that out. I do not think that is the case.
oh,
I believe we notice in the first episode she gets some really crack shots off with a dinner tray and the blaster as well. We see her being really smart. We see her in this episode. She's tracking beasts. So I would assume at this point that basically they're all the different enhancements on the Bad Batch, and she has all of their enhancements in one clone. Is my logic?
that could make a lot of sense.
So
honestly.
that's why she's the next level of the cloning, because not because she's force sensitive, but because they finally managed to perfect all the enhanced attributes and not make her a complete fucking idiot like Rekka.
So that makes a lot of sense. But I feel like in the episode 2, they were talking about how like obviously they brought in that crew of soldiers, and they were just like, well, we can use these guys instead of using the clones and stuff like that. But obviously kind of that didn't really work in their favor in a sense. So I'm like, the way they were talking too, and made it sound like they do have a clone of someone, or they need a. I feel like at some point we're going to be getting a clone though of a Jedi or a force sensitive person. In a sense. We're definitely going to get that in this season or in the show.
Well, maybe what if Grogu is that clone of a Jedi? What if they somehow got Yoda's his metachlorian and stuff or whatever? And
that's much later in the timeline, to the point where that like
they're definitely tied in somehow.
But it could work though, because Grogu's 50 years old, so like it kind of could possibly work. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like timeline, because this is like right after like Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, which is and New Hope is 18 years. Is 18 years after that, and then Mandalorian is about 7 years after that.
Well, if I'm correct, I think a lot of people were doing the math on the Grogu and when he was born, and I heard a lot of people chatting that he was it could have been right in that time between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, which would also explain why Yaddle kind of disappears.
Ooh.
So I think, so I think Grogu is already an infant. I mean, what is like a 2-year-old Yoda look like? Is it like this big? Like.
Well, that's what I'm curious about.
That's a good question.
Yoda can talk. Well, he's also 900 years old. But I'm like, so Grogu's 50 and he can't talk like English yet. So I'm like wondering when he gets to that point in a sense too. But I'm just like, I don't know. Like, do we think Grogu was a clone, or do we think he was actually born from like Yaddle?
I'm still I can't. It's just I love it. I just love the idea that some shit went down with Yoda and Yaddle. They weren't supposed to get it on. They did, and then she had to run away with Grogu, and then that lucked out because Order 66
Dude,
happened.
if you think about it, it had to have happened because I'm pretty sure like Jedis can't be like romantically involved with other people. That's why like Anakin and
Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's relationship with Bo-Katan's sister.
Well, yeah, but like they have to like kind of keep it a secret.
Yeah,
like, can't be really known.
And this would be 2 Jedis, both on the council, both masters on the council, and the head of the Jedi. So he's in a position of power at that point. So that's pretty dicey. But
something else, and this is my specialty, is when I hear things that make me think of things as we're going on a discussion. I'd be a great person to like not start or lead discussions, but just chime in periodically when people make me think of things. Because going back real quick to Yoda and what's her name, Yaddle.
Yeah.
Okay. That's Yoda and Yaddle. Now we know very little about the Yoda species, like so very little. Okay.
Yoda species. That's
we don't even know what they're called.
We're calling them Yoda species.
So for all we know, Yoda for their species, males give birth. So maybe Yoda gave birth to Grogu.
Patriarchy on its head there, Jay.
And you just and maybe I don't know. I'm trying to think of like damn it. Yep, we're going here. God, this is why it's a shit show. I'm just gonna do it, guys. I'm sorry.
By the way, Jay, real quick, turn down your mic a tiny bit.
How's that?
That's so much better.
That's nice.
There we go. So smooth and
beautiful.
Oh, you know what it is. Here, check this out, guys.
Check that shit out.
Oh.
Yeah. How about them apples?
Oh, that was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, get some nice
like Marvin Gaye right now.
There.
Speaking of Marvin Gaye and Yoda and birthing comes from sex. We're going there, guys. So
birds and bees.
And you heard it here first. Yaddle fucks Yoda, and Yoda gives birth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every girl's
paddle me, Yaddle.
Dream.
What if they don't?
We don't have to do it.
What if like they have the females have what if the males have vaginas and the females like their fingertips are like what like fertilates people? These are aliens,
like
guys.
Scary Movie 3 and they just pee out of their fingers.
Far away. A long go in the future.
I did wonder why such small heads would need such big ears. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've never seen him with the robot.
Oh, you're onto something. Okay, so how could the ears be used to reproduce in the Yoda species? Let's dive into this here for a minute.
So it's like Chinese whispers. You you think of your feelings and your commitment to the person, and then you speak it into their ear, and it gestates. It goes down the back of the sinuses, so it still goes down the throat. So there's still some esophagus action going on just to keep it. It's not all just ear play.
Ear play, I love it. Okay, ear play. No, we're getting somewhere.
You ask, you get. I deliver. That's what I'm saying.
You gotta let people know how it goes down.
we're developing this as we go. So, okay,
Yeah.
ear play is the equivalent to foreplay. So they start with like, some lightly tracing, blowing on the earlobe and sucking the earlobe.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
whispering into
I
the
gotta
ear.
cover Baby Yoda's ears right now. He's
Yeah.
learning too much right now.
Woo!
Randy,
Sensory overload, am I right?
I know. Oh my.
I don't know. So we got ear play. And then how does it progress from there? Like you got ear play, but like it's an alien species. They don't lay eggs, so they must have some sort of reproductive. Well, we don't know that they don't.
They could lay eggs, but then I mean, Yoda likes to eat the eggs, and I
And
don't
so
know.
doesn't Grogu. Yeah.
Yeah, so you assume that species, they like to eat the eggs, and I don't know if this biology checks out, but
Yeah, it's not
I
like
don't-
penguins. They're not like sitting on those eggs for like 6
No.
months at a time.
but I don't know how it works with like mammals and reptiles and everything, but like the things that lay eggs eat eggs, or is it like an unwritten rule of the animal kingdom? Is it only like animals that don't lay eggs are the ones that eat other animals' eggs?
Fish eat fish. So I mean, I don't know.
Well, of course they do. What are they going to come up here for a steak?
Yeah, what else can they eat?
But I mean, as opposed to eating plants or plankton or bacteria or something, I mean,
They need the protein, man.
that is a solid point. I can't argue your point at all. That was a very good point, dude. Yeah, damn it.
I mean, you've got some greens going on down there, but
Yeah.
I
So we're gonna tie it
this
all
is-
back together that pretty much Grogu and Yaddle banged.
No,
Created
not,
we
Baby
don't know
Yoda.
who we don't know who banged who.
Yeah, we don't know who
And
banged who, but somehow
well, wait. If she banged Grogu, which is what you said, then that's
No,
where we need Thomas
she didn't
Harper.
bang Grogu. She
And
one
if-
of them birthed Grogu, and then
and if he's
somehow,
Yoda and she's
or
Yaddle,
maybe
do they
I don't
yang
know.
instead of
Maybe
bang?
Yoda is Omega's like stepdaddy or something, like
I don't know.
clone daddy.
I mean,
Speaking of that, though, real quick, I did hear a legit theory. Well, not legit, but I mean a theory that is actually going around, not something I made up. That
Let's take credit for it. Who cares?
yeah, that perhaps when they're talking about another clone that they need, when they were talking about Django's DNA and all that
deteriorating, yeah.
one of the theories is that they're going to be looking for Boba, because Boba is the only one who doesn't have the aging progression in his DNA, and that they're looking for him,
Right.
the closest thing to Django, to continue to produce to reproduce the clones successfully.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And we have no idea where Boba is at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm assuming he's just bound. Is he bound? I mean, he's probably just like earning his stripes as a bounty hunter.
That's what I'm guessing. He's like in the shadows.
He's
doing
young.
his thing.
He's a young dude, you know. He's sowing his oats.
He was in Clone Wars, so we know what he's doing as a kid. Like after his father was killed, he ended up becoming like a pirate and shit in a smug.
Like epic training montage, looking for vengeance. I mean,
I don't know.
I know. I think
Cool.
they're either looking for him or they're looking for like a Force user to somehow make these clones
yeah.
even stronger. But we've never heard of clones being like Force users, which I don't get how, because obviously those would be the strongest clones. So if we see that down the line in the series or in this season, that would be mind blowing.
Yeah.
Because at first I did think that Omega was gonna be like a Force user, like
Yeah.
clone, but as of right now, it's kind of not going that direction as I thought it was going to.
She's just a super clone.
Yeah,
She's just a next level clone. Would we assume that Grogu possibly would be the first Force sensitive clone if he was a clone? Because they were clearly like they were up to stuff with Grogu in those labs before, and
that's what I'm
after
saying.
Mando popped in and out. So
What
if
is
Grogu was a clone, he could be the first one. So it takes him a while to get from there to there. And I said last week, it's so weird that like they literally just wiped out all the Jedi, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna make more straight away." Like that just seems kind of risky. Like, and
because they can control them though.
and to tie it back into the show that we're talking about, they do instead of using some clones, they're now just like, oh no, we're just training like super mercs now. Like we've just got some awesome facility. We've just got regular dudes. We're recruiting and all that kind of stuff instead of cloning, because obviously we see this group that we send out in this week's episode, which is still weird to me. It's like really like feeding and like breeding and like maintaining like and recruiting and all that stuff. Is that really more efficient than just making clones? Even if they're deteriorating, just make 5 million of them.
Yeah,
it's a lot harder to recruit 5 million people than it is to just clone 5 million people.
Well, then again, I feel like it's like the Empire too, and they're just like, we want, because I feel like they feel like they'll have more control over, like, I guess if that's what they were called, humans, like soldiers in a sense, than clones, because then like we can control. I don't know, but you can also control the clones, because obviously
that's the whole point. They build it into them
already.
I mean, is that more dangerous than like just like extremist like loyalists? Because obviously if you're the Empire or whoever you are, you're going to have those people that just are ready and dying to sign up, to go out and do some damage. But I don't know, I just didn't buy into the fact that was really like, on one hand, like, oh, with Amiga's this thing, but also we're kind of just going to go back to using just regular dudes. Something's not adding up.
I feel like they maybe want to like I forget the name that species that created the clones. You guys know the name of them?
The Kaminoans.
Kaminoans or Kamain.
Yep, not going to pronounce that.
It's the Kaminoans.
The Kaminoans.
Guys, I nailed it last week. Thomas said so.
There you go. So I feel like maybe
I've been thinking about it all time since.
Yep. The Empire is like trying to maybe step away from like using them to create like their own, so they're just like don't have to like rely on them if like shit goes down, kind of, in a sense. Like, we'll have our own people to do the job, not your people.
Yeah, I mean, if these new guys that they've got like working for them are like so great, then just clone them, and then you've got a fresh source.
I've got two explanations for both of these things, for two things that y'all been talking about.
Let's do it.
Or and I don't know that these are canon. These are just what I'm thinking. But one, for as to why they would go with humans, because they can control the clones. And also, as far as another reason as to why they would phase out the humans or the clones. One, I think the thought is that they can be compromised as far as if they can get into their computer system and program their chip to do this, then maybe someone else can break in and hack the system and reprogram them all to do something else. And then another thing for me would be cost. It would cost a lot. It costs a lot less to go to planets and collect children and people and force them into lives of being stormtroopers, as we found out from Finn happened to him, than it would be to pay this race to clone these people with all this expensive technology.
Yeah.
That would be my two thoughts.
Talking about Finn, though, I'm glad you brought him up, because here's the thing: if you're recruiting just from all over the galaxy, as far or wide as that you want, for every one Jango Fett that you find in this recruitment process, there's going to be 5,000 Finns. And let's not joke, he wasn't exactly the best soldier. If you're the Empire, you don't want Finns, you want Jangos.
Yeah,
and exactly. you're just going to have all these useless, not committed, and obviously, boo the Empire. But if you're the Empire, you want them to be committed to the cause, and you don't want all these flaky pastry people like. It just seems so redundant to me. Just clone some more or some different people. Get some warriors. Get some buff dudes. Go on Craigslist and get yourself a real specimen and just pump them out. You've got a fresh source. Somebody would do that for fun.
That's what I'm curious to, like, how does the cloning process like work in a sense? Have we seen? We haven't seen that, right? Like how it works.
Like, no, they just extracted. All we know is they extracted Boba's DNA. They cloned and then manipulated the DNA to make him grow faster, so that they wouldn't have to wait for them to grow up.
I mean, we got to assume that they do it the same way that we do it, right? You just take the stem cell and there's no problems, and you just get that and you use it to like benefit society and humanity, and and they're curing cancer. They're giving them attributes.
Yep.
Never heard of cancer in Star Wars, so that's probably what they're doing. But yeah, no, I assume it's the same process. Like they just, it's take a sample, artificial embryo bubbles like in the Matrix or whatever.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Like that was what I was thinking in my head. Like there's little things in like egg sacs, it's like hanging around.
And nobody once in the history of Star Wars has ever just like sent a bunch of bombers to one of these facilities, like, and just. I mean, I don't want to advocate killing children in the embryos or anything, but they are clones.
Hey, though, we might get that this season though, because from the sound of it, is that those people, I forget the name of them. That's
Karen Owens, man. They get dark this episode. They're getting dark.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to be making more clones or something, and I feel like the Bad Batch might come in and try to stop them doing that. So,
I think the Bad Batch could very well. I could see that being the series finale, like, because I think we're only going to get one season of this.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how far this will go.
It would be a great wrap up for their story if they were just like, fuck these guys. We're going to be the clones to make sure that they never clone again. We're going to put an end to this, and they go back in and they do their thing in the facility. That would be a great way to.
Oh man, I just got goosebumps from you saying that. Like honestly, that's a way to end it though too, because like we
even
said,
if they go out, if they go out in the process, I think that would be.
Yeah, because I mean, we're definitely going to see Guerrera down the line. I said his name right. Guerrera. Yes. We're definitely going to see him down the line.
Guerrera.
Yep, and he's obviously in Rogue One, and that's right before New Hope. So, I mean, I think that's would make the most sense for that to happen. But then again, I don't know if like Omega, like if I feel like Hunter will not let Omega sacrifice himself. I think something will happen with her, and they will go sacrifice themselves to make that happen.
Yeah. Hey, what if Saul Guerrera is in the finale and we see how he gets all fucked up?
Yes.
Like
that would make sense. Maybe he was part of that mission.
He's there, gets blown up. Sorry, man, you're hanging out with the clones. This is what happens. We got
I'm trying to
collateral
think
damage.
He was in Rebels. I can't remember his appearance in Rebels. Like
I did not realize he was in Rebels for some reason. Maybe I just didn't put the pieces together.
As far as I'm aware, it's basically the Forrest Whitaker version that we get in Rebels, and this is like the version that we get here is like the weird new, like earlier, cleaner kind of,
which is Clone Wars version. Yes, Saul Guerrero was in Rebels,
and it's Whitaker, right? I think Whitaker
actually. Yeah, so
did Whitaker actually do the voice in?
I don't think so. No,
well, that I'm not sure about.
I think it is someone else.
I thought he did the voice for something. Maybe it was like a game. I don't know. Or maybe it's like Forces of Destiny or something.
I think it was so it says played by Forrest Whitaker and Andrew Kishno.
Oh yeah, of course. Heard of
him. Yeah. That person.
Oh yeah.
How did I not know?
I did want to say one other thing that goes back. We were talking about the whole them trying to clone a Jedi. I don't think that they're trying to clone a Jedi. I think they're just looking for a Jedi to get the midichlorians, because that is the Force, and remember that's what they were trying to get from Baby Yoda. I think this is the start of them of the cloning process of Palpatine, and like
maybe.
That's what they're looking for. They're not looking to clone. And then even if they
so you're saying that like for Palpatine,
because Palpatine is still in. Yeah.
Hold on. Just sorry. Because I'll forget this, dude. Just because they clone a Jedi doesn't mean that they're going to be of the good side of the Force. I mean, even Ahsoka was of the good side of the Force, but she ended up not being a Jedi.
It's got to be like Pet Cemetery, right? You clone a Jedi, you end up with a Sith.
It's Church the cat. That's what they turn into. No, I don't. I mean, I think in the Mandalorian, that's what they're getting to. That they're getting to trying to clone or help clone Palpatine. I feel like that's what I feel like right now they're trying to figure out how to clone a Jedi, but I don't think. now like talking more it out with you guys, I don't feel like that's gonna happen this series. I think they're trying to work on trying to possibly clone like a Force user or something.
Yeah.
And that's why down the line we see in Mandalorian that they're trying to get Baby Yoda. So sorry, my dog is excited. To try to clone, to try to get his DNA to do something with Palpatine or something along those lines.
I don't know if it's a case of necessarily cloning Force users. I think maybe you clone people and then maybe you have to extract midi-chlorians and then put those into the mix, as you know, which is kind of different to just flat out cloning Jedi. I think maybe you need to clone the body first and then introduce the midi-chlorians into the embryo. I think maybe there's like an extra layer to it. And maybe Palpatine was looking ahead, like, you know, I'm probably good. You know, that's the rule of the two, right? You're gonna get fucked up by your apprentice eventually.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's already had the Plagueis discussion of how, you know, he's looking for the eternal life. So maybe he's like, well, if I can clone some bodies and have some midichlorians on hand, and then I can like just piece together new bodies or new potential vessels for myself. And that would obviously tie into Snoke. You know, we get the Luke's hand stuff, like that's kind of floating around. You know,
I still want to see that scene so badly. Why didn't we get that scene? I just
apparently
wanted.
it was shot. It was shot, right?
That's what I heard. That it was shot and they were going to use it. It's on the editing floor somewhere.
I heard that it was going to be like that was going to be like for like the first like
that was like the first scene.
Celebration footage or something. I heard that was going to be like the teaser was the was going to have the hand in there. So and you don't need Hamill on set to make that. You could just shoot a hand floating around. You know,
just mold Mark Hamill's hand real quick.
Yeah, you just get the dude from Adam's Family who plays Thing, and
yeah, exactly.
You know that guy needs some work.
Yeah, for sure.
Or maybe it's the other hand. It's like twins, like the Ashmores. Anyway.
Crosshair situation though, and I mean, I love the story, the way the story's going with Crosshair splitting off from them and keeping more like his chip is more in tune with the rest of the clones, and I mean,
just leading an inferior gang though, right?
Yeah, right.
They look cool, but they're just basic bitches, like. They're just regular old schmucks.
But it's really cool though how they did that, because I mean I don't think any of us really we kind of thought, you know, the 5, which I didn't realize this, but yeah, the 5 clones, Echo's
Omega, yeah.
You know, I mean he's not one of the whatever. I don't know. Anyway, I can't. Words are slipping my mind.
Yeah, no, technically Echo is more machine than clone, because so therefore the 5 includes Omega. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think is going to happen? Like, so far, I think what's going to happen, at least with Crosshair, is that I don't know if his like chip is going to malfunction or something, or maybe they're just going to have like a heart-to-heart sentimental conversation with him somehow, and it'll make him go to the light. And maybe he'll be the one to be like, I have to sacrifice myself to stop them from creating this more of the Clone Wars or something, and then that's how they all blow up at the end. I don't know.
I'm hoping for this, man. I am.
It's gonna be
I was so excited for like the conflict of that character in the first episode, he's just like, nope, fuck you guys. So maybe they're going to kind of circle back round and reintroduce, or you know, introduce that conflict in there and have him kind of, you know, have toy with, you know, is he doing the right thing? Is he going to come back over?
Yeah.
And
either going to redeem him, or I mean, I think they have to redeem him.
No, I'm so sick of the redemption.
I mean, I am
just kill everyone and end this franchise.
That's all they do in this franchise, but I feel like that's the story of Star Wars. Is that's what they're gonna do? Is that they're gonna redeem him?
Yeah.
No, now is the perfect time to not do any of that shit, because the Republic just fell. It's just turned to the Empire. The next 18 years, we see how bad it gets. Now let's see how it gets that bad. Let's stop with all the kitty fluff bullshit, and let's get down to business, guys. Come on. I'm sick
I mean,
of all this redemption bullshit.
I'd be down for that. I mean, I don't want them to redeem him, but what do I think is going to happen is that they may. But then again, I asked, like, a lot of people were saying online that they think Crosshair is going to die at the end. But I think they're all going to. I think they're all going to sacrifice themselves besides Omega, but I don't know what's going to happen with her because we haven't seen her anywhere else before, so.
How about this for awesome? So they managed to, like, reverse his chip, right, and unbrainwash him, and then he just turns around and he's like, you know what, I actually believe in this shit. Like, it doesn't matter, it's not the chip, that's how I feel. Because we get a really great line in this episode where somebody says, like, you know, I work for the Empire, I got a house, I got a job, like, I've got all this stuff. Like, what did the rebellion do? Other than just, like, blow shit up or whatever. You know, and it, like, we don't get enough of that side because we forget that in the analogy of our society to Star Wars, like, you know, like, we're the Empire. Like, it's all these smaller, like, you know, rebel countries that are kind of fighting you guys mainly. I'm not gonna lie, you imperialist
Yeah,
overlords.
Yep.
You know, America is the Empire in this scenario, and you know, you've got security, you've got all these things, all this stuff, all these, you know, jobs.
Okay, I'm not going to sit here and take that from a Brit guy. America is the empire when it's called the British Empire. Man, come on, get out of here.
All right, here's the thing: we had a British Empire. You kind of still kind of have your own, like, modern equivalent of like a kind of self-isolated empire. It's weird. I don't get it. I mean, you're kind of getting better, but it's all right. So don't make this about race.
But I mean, I know what you're saying though. Like, they're doing what they have to do to get by, and they're just like,
And we just don't explore that stuff enough. But then, it, like we said earlier, just juxtapose that with, like, the really cartoony, the kid stuff. And do we really need, you know, a reluctant anti-hero who takes the young kid under his wing? Do we need that again in Star Wars already? And
Omega is Grogu pretty much in this series.
Yeah. And like, to circle back to episode 2 real quick, at the end of episode 1, Hunter's like, I'm accepting the kid, she's coming. And then the whole arc of episode 2 is Hunter going, okay, you can come. It's like, really? We did that twice. It's like, in 2 consecutive episodes.
Yeah, and I mean, in this episode though, they all kind of accept her by making, like, creating the bedroom for her.
I do love that. I do love how the episode started with her, like, being uncomfortable and not being able to sleep or rest or whatever it was, and, you know, like, being all cramped up in this little, like, dusty corner, and then we kind of come full circle at the end with this really lame looking bedroom, but I get it. It's lovely.
It was a nice little comfy closet.
Really got me.
Yeah. I thought that scene was cute though too, because, like, it did come full circle because it was them all accepting her now.
Yeah.
Into part of their team in a sense. So
yeah. So that's the closest we really get to story in this episode.
Yeah.
The ship. Am I correct?
The what now?
On the ship, they have just a barracks. Like, they don't have their individual rooms.
As far as I know, they're all just slumming about.
Yeah, they just sleep where they stand, pretty much.
Unless Wrecker's stealing everyone's beds like he's trying to steal Omega's food.
Well, yeah, like, if it were where everyone had their own room, then what did they do? Just, like, give Omega a little corner and then turn Crosshair's room into a man cave or something? I don't know.
Well, you thought they put the sheet up for her, so maybe it's just like, since you're a girl, you get the sheet so you don't have to watch us do our thing.
Yeah.
And what?
Nice. Just hear all this grunting and smell all the sweat. You know,
poor guys.
Beautiful. That kid's got no hope.
Yeah.
Like, poor Omega, and I'm like, those poor guys having to have a little all the time. What the hell?
Oh man. But I mean, what do you guys think we're gonna see next week then?
I mean, we haven't talked about the character they introduced in this episode. This, like, evil general kind of character that I don't know.
I didn't know his name either.
I don't know his name, but he's like Krennic, like, you know. He's like a little bit of Thrawn, a little bit of Krennic, kind of like, you know, and he's working under Tarkin, and he's apparently really smart at assembling teams of not cloned regular dudes, and he's really good at that, and he got a really glorious chin.
He does.
And but I don't know what the plan is really. You know, they're kind of off and running now with their dudes. They've accepted Omega. I feel like they really do set up this whole Omega's like all the clones thing. I don't know if we're going to get that, or maybe we get Rex bringing another clone. You know, because
no, I kind of feel like that makes sense with Omega. Like she's kind of like the ultimate one. Like they all, because he said, even Hunter says that too. Like, can you teach me hunting? And he was like, well, we all have like our own special thing.
But then by the end of the episode, she managed to like track that big alien creature thing. Oh, just real quick, is it just me? And I know it's just me. I don't know why I'm asking. But for some reason, that big blue creature at the end just reminded me of Javier Bardem in Skyfall. I don't know why. It just had that really, you know, and the jaw opening up and everything. Go back and have a look and think about Javier Bardem for just 1 second, because it does look like him. But she tracks it. She feeds it light, or it's running around with the light. And
I was confused because then it was like had something in its mouth and it looked like it was like getting electrocuted. I was like, was that the flashlight? Like,
because at first I was just like, oh, it doesn't like the light, so it's not, because you think it's a scary monster, but it's just scared of the light. Then she puts the torch down and it like wants to eat the light. Like, does it absorb it? Like,
that's what it looked like. It was absorbing like the energy or something.
Yeah, it was odd.
Yeah, it was just weird. I mean, I don't know if it's just like.
I think you're giving her too much tracking credit, dude. She probably.
It's pretty big.
We all did. All she had to do was go into a hole, and it was in the hole, dude. I mean, there's so much skill.
I don't know if tracking is the right word. I know that they kind of specify that Hunter's skill is tracking, but I do think like Hunter, you know, he's got that Rambo shit. He can like fight bears and he can wrangle crocodiles. You know, he's like Steve Irwin and Solid Snake all wrapped up into one. And I think that's more what they were going for. But it's not inferred enough. I see your point. It is kind of just set up that he's just like really good at smelling things. But I do think he's kind of meant to be kind of just he's a real woodsman.
Yeah, he's the woodsman. He's the leader in the group. So
yeah, and she showed leadership qualities.
I'm saying, damn it. Okay, I'm saying that you guys are giving Omega too much tracking credit. She's the one I'm talking about. All she had to do was go into a hole. What the fuck? She saw the thing attack him and then go into a hole.
Yeah, but I mean, that showed like some bravery right there. A little tiny girl just going in there, just like, let me go fight off this monster real quick to go get this generator piece. Like,
you go and snuggle up with big blue Javier Bardem and see how you get on.
Exactly.
I see a rabbit run across the yard into a hole, and then I walk over to that hole and I reach in and pull the rabbit out. I did not track the rabbit. Is all I'm saying.
But did you bond with the rabbit though? Did you connect with the nature and the spirit of the rabbit?
No, I saw it go into the hole. That's the only reason I knew it was in the hole, and I went right to the hole. Same thing here.
I mean, tracking, following, it's all the same thing, right?
No. Yeah, stalking, you know, harassing,
stalking, harassing, you know, all the same thing.
Hunting.
No, it's not the same.
They all fall into the same category.
Yeah, predatoring.
Predatory.
That's a word.
Yeah, it totally is.
We made one today, guys. Check it out on the Webster Dictionary. Coming in 2022.
Yep.
Yeah. Wikipedia. It's my new website.
Oh wow. What's some final thoughts on this episode, where we're going? Maybe anything. Any final thoughts?
I don't think they kind of really get into enough where we're going. I think we get a lot of context, and I love how we kind of see the Kaminoans, like they're so bright and lovely in the first episode, and they really make a point to hammer home that there's a different side to these guys going on now. And so I've got to assume that that's where we're going. We're going to kind of continue down this path, and we're going to see this general dude. But I really don't know. It doesn't give you a lot to go on. But I enjoyed the ride of this episode, but it's not plot heavy in that sense.
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of. I mean, do we know how many episodes are going to be this season?
14 or 16. I think 14, but 14 or 16.
I mean, then I feel like it. I don't know. Like, I feel like they always do that though. Like when you get to like episode like 3, 4, and 5, like those are always kind of like not like the best episodes, because then they're just kind of like just filling stuff and to get into the like where we need to go.
Yeah, if you're doing 14 or 15, there's room for a little bit of filler for sure.
Yeah,
you know, it's not 22 episodes, but it's not like a nice lean 8 episodes either. Did anyone see the tweet from the person who was waiting for episode 7 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier? He's dying. There's somebody who thought it was going to be 9 episodes, and I saw this screenshot of this tweet of, oh, hey guys, where's the other 3 episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Sorry. Yeah, this is great. I can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah, we still have lots of context and lots more story to explore. I feel like in this, that it's just the beginning, that right now they're just kind of letting us know who we're dealing with and what's to explore like further down the line. Like I feel like this one like definitely was more about the Bad Batch itself, kind of just like just being stuck somewhere, and now it's just like Crosshair and dominating over these actual soldiers. So, and then you have that new general guy coming in, and then you have, what's the name of them, Dean?
The Kaminoans.
Yes, and they're and they're trying to figure out something to clone more people. So,
I do think we get Rex. If I had to make one prediction, I think we get Rex, because in this episode,
do you think we're gonna clone Rex?
No, I think we're going to see Rex. I think they're going to hook up with Rex. I think because they reference, like, I don't know if it was the last episode and this episode, or just one of them, where they say like, oh, he was just here, like you just missed him.
Yeah, in episode 2 they do. Yeah, they reference him.
So I think we get Rex next episode, and I think maybe Rex is the one who kind of starts to see what's going on with Omega. I think because he's wise, and you know, I feel like he would see those qualities reflected, and maybe that kind of starts to open up a bit more.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be. Yeah, it's definitely going to be Rex, and it's definitely going to be Saw Gerrera. Is maybe they're even together, and that's where they kind of go. Or maybe they see Rex and then they go to him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know.
Something like that.
I don't know. Something like that, and like this, and like that, and like this, and yes. Yes, right here. Yes, he knows the Jedi well. Does Rex? And on that note, I mean,
well put.
Things so far have already been kind of or are easily comparable to the Mandalorian. So that's not.
They asked for it.
Possibility is that Rex would see something in Omega and then bring Ahsoka into the picture, kind of like because she's the only person that's still left. As far, I mean, to my knowledge, he doesn't know that Obi-Wan survived. He doesn't know that.
Yoda,
yeah.
So
I mean, that'd be cool, because if they could kind of mirror then that Grogu scene with Ahsoka Mandalorian, where she like, oh, we think this is who we need to talk to deal with this kid, and then Ahsoka's just like, no, that's not Force sensitive. This is something else you got going on here, and then that could kind of lead off that way. I mean, it'd be weird to kind of just throw her in like that, but you know, they're getting to the point where they can kind of really sprinkle all these characters everything. So I'm up for it, because you know, I love that Marvelness of like seeing Don Cheadle show up in Falcon and Winter Soldier and stuff like that is just the best. And you know, Star Wars, we're finally getting that, and not only that, but we're getting it where it's between back and forth from like live action and animated and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm enjoying most.
Star Wars, this is what they promised us in 2002 12. This is what they promised, and they're kind of getting there. So that's what I'm happy about.
We're finally getting what we all asked for. Thank God.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would one final note from me. I would also like to see not like maybe he has one or two, maybe three speaking lines and more so in the background. I would love to see a young General Thrawn. I think that would be cool as hell. Because I mean, you know, like bump him. He's a general when we see him. He's still working his way up the ranks. You know, he's kind of the guy in the background. They give him something to do, and he just has a couple, 2 or 3 lines confirming yes, sir, and blah blah blah. That would be really fucking cool. I think.
Yeah, like young Thrawn, like again, like to use the term, but earning his stripes and kind of working his way up to where we're probably going to see him in all the live action stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have their little mini event thing, it seems, to it, where they're probably going to do
definitely
like.
Going to be in the Ahsoka show. That's
yeah. I think they're
looking for.
I think they're going to very loosely adapt the Thrawn trilogy, but with the casts of the live action shows in that period. I think it will be a very loose, you know, in the same way that Marvel, like Ragnarok, like Thor Ragnarok was like with nothing like, you know, but they can take some elements of that and work that in. I think that'll be a cool little crossover event for all these live action shows. I don't know if these animated things are doing. I mean, some of them probably will tie into that, some of them won't. I don't think that's what this show. I don't know if we get Thrawn necessarily. I think that's like a slightly different pocket of storyline that is
like
going
I said,
on.
just in the background. Just get to see him when he in his coming ups. He's in the background, and then he just has like 2 or 3 lines. Like,
oh man, yeah, let's get like baby Thrawn, like joining the Empire, wet behind the ears,
little blue man walking around.
He's from the unknown regions. So, I mean, at some point, I want to get something that explores more of the unknown regions.
But then you have to change the name, Jay.
What's that?
Like, if you go there, we have to name it something else. Like, I always thought it was pretty dubious already that everyone knows of it as the unknown region. So if it has a name, then it's not unknown, is it?
Yeah.
Well, no, the region.
I don't want to be that guy, but
it's like the Harry Potter, like Lord Voldemort. He shall not be named.
Yeah. But that's a name. He who shall not be named is a name.
Yeah.
Because that's what they call him. So
all right, guys.
We're going off the rails now.
I really hope the other guys don't watch like the middle and the end of this episode.
We teach you the birds of
Put
the
some timestamps in the comments or something so they can just skip to the good shit.
That's gonna do it for this week of the Mad Batch of Star Wars shit show. This round discussing the Bad Batch. I really can't. But I'll be honest. What I'm looking forward to is Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian season 3. That's gonna be fucking sweet. And Obi-Wan. But
Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, we're just getting so much good stuff coming our way.
But yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. Dean, where can folks find you at, man?
Find me on Twitter at Dean Lewis 2099. I really need to like consolidate all my social media and just have a complete rebrand because it's all like slightly different. You get me on Instagram at Real DL 2099, and you know, just all. It's a shit show, guys. It's an absolute shit show. But you know, you can find me. You know what? Actually, everyone, I'll find you.
I was just about to say he'll find you. He will be standing outside the window in the rain in a trench coat with a boombox.
I've got tracking skills. I've got hunting skills.
Yeah.
I will
be predatoring. Is that the word you used earlier? Predatoring people.
I'm predatoring, but in a healthy, wholesome, like
in a safe way,
consensual way.
Yeah.
You know, which kind of really ruins the predator element. But you know, it's easy game, but it's good game.
Exactly.
I wish a group of guys would break into my house sometime. That would be awesome.
Me too, Jay. Me too.
I'm
not going to sleep tonight.
Yep.
Paige Frabetti, where can everyone find you at?
Yeah, you guys can check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Front Page News Now right there, guys. Check it out. And you can catch me here every Friday at 6:30, guys, talking a bunch of shit about Star Wars and nonsense. And in the Schmodown, hopefully you guys will be seeing me very, very soon. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. That's where we're going with this.
Yeah.
See you soon.
I am making it my mission this week to figure out how exactly Yoda species fuck and how they have kids. That's my mission for this week. How do they get it on? I want to know.
The birds and the bees. That's all we gotta know.
What do the ears have to do with the ear play? I mean, but like, what exactly is involved?
People, comment below and let us know your thoughts and what you think, so we can kind of figure this out ourselves.
Yeah. Everyone just post the stages of the Yoda sex ritual.
Like what's first base and second base and third and
let us know your thoughts on all of this. And y'all can find me on the Twitter and on Stereo at JWade1134. That's a letter JWADE1134. Also on Twitter and the Stereo at the Jcast Network. Please sub and share, like, all that good shit that everyone wants you to do, because it does help. And tomorrow, I do a sports talk show devoted to the movie Trivia Schmodown, which, as you heard Paige say, she is a member of. She's a competitor in that. And tomorrow's guest is, I don't know yet. We may not have a guest. We'll find out. But yeah, we go live tomorrow and every Saturday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Like I said, it's a sports talk show. We got segments, debate segments, games, interviews, all kinds of shit, and lots of stuff coming up to talk about. Some polls that Christian put up. Also, here
there was some stuff.
I'm a member of this, and I was like, those are interesting.
Come on. Dean starts talking, and then Paige starts talking, and then there ain't no stopping them.
It's called a conversation.
We like each other's company.
I don't care, but yeah, we got a Bachelor show starting here in about 3 weeks too. That it's been on for over a year, but it's just coming to this network. But more about that later. I'm going to stop rambling now, or else that just gives more opportunity for them to start talking more. Dean, he definitely looks like he needs to get to the nearest pub. It's been a whole week, and he needs more beers. And I don't know, man. From what I hear, I'm not going to say that about from what I've heard, but I hear.
Man, see, Jay, what happens is you start talking, and then I start talking,
and then I chime in. It just
love it.
Circle of life.
I don't know from firsthand, but I've been told if you go on Google and you search for British dogging, you will find some very lovely girls that dwell in the country of England. If you are under 18, please do not do what I just said. If you
don't forget to flash your headlights.
And yeah, we're out. That's it. This shit show's done. Later, everybody. See you next week. You want to hear something funny? The mic wasn't on that whole time.
No way.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow.
So smooth.